You're listening to the Chad Hasty Show on demand. Good for you. Now download the KFYO app and listen live weekday afternoons 5 to 7 p.m. Central.
Broadcasting from the great state of Texas, this is the Chad Hasty Show. News and views with a Lone Star perspective. You can sound off during the show by sending Chad a text at 806-680-2790. That's 806-680-2790. Or call in at 1-800-687-0790. Now, here's Chad Hasty.
Good evening, Lubbock, Abilene, Amarillo, Wichita Falls, Midland, Odessa, over in Dallas, Fort Worth, down in Houston, over in El Paso, and anywhere else, inside or outside the great state of Texas, wherever you may be listening on this Friday, January 19th. 2024. Welcome to the weekend. Welcome to Friday. Congratulations. We've made it. We have made it to the weekend. Maybe you're just now getting off of work. Maybe you're wrapping things up. Maybe you're the last one in the office and you're just kind of wrapping up for the day. We welcome you in. We thank you for tuning in on this Friday evening, and we're with you on your way home, with you as you wrap up at work, and maybe if you are already at home, maybe you're about to crack open a cold one and enjoy a weekend. Enjoy a Friday evening. Maybe you're planning on going out to dinner somewhere tonight, getting some good food. Maybe you're cooking at home tonight. Maybe you've got a fire going already. I don't know. Maybe it's just going to be a nice, enjoyable weekend. You got a little playoff football on TV. You got a little cold weather action going as well. So just a good weekend to relax at the house and enjoy family and maybe enjoy a little bit of quiet time as well. Who knows? We've got a lot to get into on the program today. We've got on Friday, as we normally do, we like to get into a little bit of the politics of the day, but also take it easy and find out from you what's going on in your world and get your opinion on quite a few different things. Today, well, Nick, it's an interesting day. We've got like 3 different days out there on the totally made-up National Day of calendar that's out there. We've got a few different days that all collide into today. So number one, and one that everyone seems to have been talking about today, National Popcorn Day. So National Popcorn Day. I'm not sure exactly what to do with National Popcorn Day because it's just National Popcorn Day. But how about this? Today is Good Memory Day. Good Memory Day. So today we ask you this: what is one of your favorite memories? One of your favorite. We're bringing the good vibes in on the week. We could ask a bad memory, but we're not going to do that. Just a good memory, something that makes you smile, something that takes you back. You know, Nick yesterday was talking about childlike wonder, and when he goes outside, he likes to look at a tree, and when you know, but he kind of remembered back into the end of the days where it was like, well, I would remember, you know, jump, you know, what is that a good tree to jump in? Is that a good, it's kind of a memory, kind of a, you know, that childlike innocence, all that kind of. So for you, what is a good memory that you have? It can be from childhood. Hell, it could be from last week. It could be a really good burger that you had. It could be a really good vacation that you took with either by yourself or with family, with friends, whatever. Just a really good memory. We ask you that on Good Memory Day. We ask you to weigh in on the text line, 806-680-2790. That's 806-680-2790. You can text in and give us your name, where you're listening from, and you can weigh in with your good memory. We're having positive vibes, at least with the running topics. And then today, I feel as though this really speaks to our audience. Today is Gun Appreciation Day. Yeah, Gun Appreciation Day. What I want to know from you, for those of you who appreciate your firearms out there, the favorite gun that you own. Maybe there's more than one that you have that is your favorite. But what is your favorite gun that you own? And on Gun Appreciation Day, see, let me tell you something. You would not hear about this topic on any type of Democrat show. All right. Any type of liberal show, they'd be, we can't appreciate guns. Oh, they're mean, they're evil, they're terrible. We embrace it here on the Chad Hasty Show. So, Gun Appreciation Day, Good Memory Day. Let me tell you something. Those could be one and the same. You may have a hunting story that is your favorite memory that you have. That could be it, and it involved a gun. So you see, you got all you could. The two could combine into one big topic that we have today here on the program. So your good memory that you have, a favorite memory that you have, and then your favorite gun that you own. You can weigh in on the text line 806-680-2790. Of course, we also want to hear from you on the phone lines. You can call in at 1-800-687-0790. That's 1-800-687-0790. You can call in today. Nick, the first voice you hear from when you dial in, the official show producer and show librarian, he's ready for the weekend. He sent me a picture last night. Nick, I got to applaud you. You made pork chops last night, and everything looked good. Now, tell folks you had the grilled pork chops that you slapped on the grill.
I did. I slapped them on there. Before I take any further credit, though.
Yes.
I only did the pork chops.
Okay.
The picture I showed you had four. I believe it was a full plate.
It was a full plate.
It was wonderful.
Delicious.
It was.
You had a little bit of pasta, if I remember.
I did.
You had a potato, a baked potato.
Yep.
With non-melted cheese. Did the cheese melt eventually?
So I just put the cheese on.
Okay. All right.
I took that.
Whew,
Yeah.
Sure.
No.
Making sure.
No, it was not cold cheese that I immediately ate the potato immediately right as I sprinkled cold cheese on it.
I don't know how you people are in Wisconsin.
Us people, yeah.
Okay, I don't know.
Yeah.
I only know a couple of people from Wisconsin, and you're a little crazy about your cheese.
So I hear.
Yeah.
No, we it was great. Yeah, I just did the pork chop. My fiance did everything else.
Yeah.
So she pretty much spearheaded dinner. It was delicious, fantastic. Yeah, we had pasta, corn, baked potato, pork chop. What else could you want?
It looks good.
Exactly. Hey, maybe that's my favorite memory. I'll say my favorite memory
was last night.
Last night's dinner. All right, within the past 24 hours, that was my favorite memory.
It looks not. I would say maybe. And again, I'm just your fiance is not listening.
No.
To score points with her, you could have said your favorite memory was the day you proposed to her. But I understand that last night cooking the pork chops.
I amended it. I said in the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
My favorite memory was dinner last night. All time, of course, it was proposing to my fiance.
Listen, man, I'm not judging, okay? That when sometimes there have been moments where you're standing over the grill and you get a little tear in your eye because you're like, this is coming out.
It's emotional,
perfectly. This is exactly the way I wanted these pork chops to come out.
Well, one was smaller than the other.
Yeah.
So it was not, if I shed a tear, it was due to frustration. Because one was done way before the other.
Yeah.
So we're like, well, either do you want to eat now and I'll just eat when this one's done? And
nothing wrong with that.
Hey, it all worked out.
It's all good.
Pork chops are pork chops.
Yeah. Well, you had to wait for the cheese to melt on the
the potato.
On the potato, so you're good.
I put butter on it too, by the way. I didn't just have a cheese potato.
I didn't see any butter on there, but okay.
Because it melted.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's good. Yeah. You got the corn on there. You got the pasta. You got a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
on there.
Yes, we cook. We cook semi-regularly.
Yeah.
We like to enjoy our dinners.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's excellent. All right. So we got that. You can text in 806-680-2790. That's 806-680-2790. You can text in. Let us know your favorite memory. Already getting a few of the favorite memories in. Also, your favorite gun is on Gun Appreciation Day. You can text in and let us know what your favorite firearm is. So you can do that on National Gun Day. So we've got all that to get into. Yes, we've got politics of the day that we can get to. We've got the folks from the Lubbock Lions Club. They're going to be in studio here in just a little bit. Tell you all about the Pancake Festival that's going to be coming up. So we've got that to get into, and we've got some other just crazy national stories as well to talk about on the program today. Let's see the latest Rasmussen poll. Biden at 45% approval, which is a little bit. It's a much higher than what some of his approval ratings have been, but it's still, according to Rasmussen, it's absolutely on the downswing. It has been. The last time they polled, he was at about 45% strongly disapproval. Now Biden's at about 45% strongly disapprove. People just don't. They just don't like Joe. The approval rate at around 45%, which is a little bit higher than where it was on January 3rd when he was at 43%. So a little bit higher, but overall, it's still not good for Joe Biden. Things keep getting worse for Joe, and I think it's going to continue to get worse for Joe Biden as the election nears. We'll go ahead and we'll take the break. When we come back, we'll take your phone calls, your text messages. We'll get to some of the news of the days and your phone calls, your text, your favorite memories out there. It's a Friday. Get ready for the weekend. We'll be right back.
The Chad Hasty Show can be heard all over West Texas, weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m. Tune in on News Talk 95.1 and 790 KFYO in Lubbock, News Talk 940 in Amarillo, News Talk 94.7 and 1470 KYYW in Abilene, and in Wichita Falls on News Talk 96.3 and 1290. The Chad Hasty Show. Make it a part of your drive home, weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m.
I answered the call. Together, we fought for our nation and its people. And even though I no longer wear the uniform, I am still a Marine. My service has come full circle. I will continue to support my country and my community. Then and now, Semper Fidelis remains my promise. Always faithful, always Marine.
Weekday mornings at 8:30 on KFYO.
Welcome back to the Chad Hasty Show. Thank you very much for tuning in today. Story out of the Dallas Morning News. AG Ken Paxton ordered to testify under oath in the whistleblower lawsuit. Yet another legal blow to Ken Paxton. Travis County judge on Friday ordered the AG to answer questions under oath from lawyers for 4 agency executives who were fired in 2020 after accusing Paxton of bribery and other misconduct. The judge ordered Paxton to testify by deposition on February 1st, saying the mandate was required because the AG's office had, quote, failed to negotiate in good faith to schedule testimony by Paxton and several top aides. The judge's order came one day after Paxton announced his agency would stop fighting the lawsuit, which argued the 4 executives were improperly fired in retaliation for reporting Paxton to the FBI. Paxton said the AG's office would not contest the allegations and would accept whatever damages the judge imposed, with payment subject to approval by the legislature. Judge also ordered Paxton's second in command as chief of staff, high-ranking advisor, to answer questions under oath next month. Depositions will take place at the Austin offices of Kane and Scanellis, a law firm representing some of the fired employees. The AG's office, Paxton's campaign, did not immediately respond to emails seeking comment. The lawsuit alleges the AG's office violated the Texas Whistleblowers Act. The agency execs accused Paxton of misusing his power of his agency to help a friend and political donor. Paxton's been unsuccessful in a string of legal challenges seeking to dismiss the lawsuit and avoid having to sit for a deposition. The most recent ruling came last week when the Texas Supreme Court rejected Paxton's bid to block his testimony. Last year, the agency and the whistleblowers agreed to settle the lawsuit, with Paxton apologizing for referring the whistleblowers as rogue employees, and the agency agreed to pay them $3.3 million. The legislature refused to fund the settlement, with the impetus for and that was the impetus for the impeachment proceedings. Since his acquittal by the Senate, Paxton has endorsed primary opponents seeking to unseat a group of Republican lawmakers who supported his removal from office. He also renewed his attacks on the whistleblowers, again referring to them Thursday as rogue employees and accusing them of using their lawsuit to thwart his priorities, particularly his office's opposition to President Joe Biden's policies. Paxton said his agency was halting its opposition towards the whistleblower lawsuit in hopes of ending the expensive and distracting litigation. Lawyers for the whistleblowers vowed on Thursday to continue the lawsuit despite Paxton's move. So the lawsuit against Paxton, it is continuing, even though Paxton tried to end it yesterday. And listen, there are Republicans on social media, Republican House members, some of whom are retiring, going away, but who nonetheless they are saying that this is vindication. To me, that this isn't vindication. This isn't vindication of anything in the House, just yet. And we'll see if the AG actually says anything in the deposition. I don't think he's gonna just come right out and say, "Oh yeah, everything I'm guilty of all of this." And they almost got me in the House, they almost got me in the Senate, but they didn't get me. I don't think you're going to hear anything like that from the AG. Some text messages coming in. People's favorite memories, as today is Good Memory Day. Robert in Holly, Texas, saying, from going to the drive-in with my parents when I was a kid. Good memory. Chad, speaking of a good memory, I've got one with my grandmother. We used to, when I was a child, we would wait till after midnight when the scary movies came on. We would pop some popcorn, of course, watch a scary movie with grandmother. Good memories. Very nice. Another texter coming in. Let's see. It's from Robert. Good memory. December 17th, 2005. Married the love of my life, Jessica Dawn. Worst memory was July 15, 2015, when I lost her due to a heart condition. And his favorite gun on Gun Appreciation Day is Beretta. 92 FS. Love that pistol. Another texter, my favorite firearm is my Glock 26. It goes everywhere with me. Linda in Lubbock weighed in. Some of my best memories, gardening, baking, and sewing with my wonderful, sweet, lovely grandmother, and fly fishing in a stream in Colorado with my precious dad. And from Linda in Lubbock. Michelle from Southwest Ohio. Favorite firearm is any Kimber. However, this is the only Kimber I have at the moment. You can text in 806-680-2790 and weigh in with your favorite memories. Also, Gun Appreciation Day. And you can weigh in. Ed and Wiley, do you think it's true that the CIA has been studying Joe Biden's hide in plain sight stealth moves to apply their own stealth spycraft training program? I'm pretty sure I have no idea what all the CIA is up to. They're probably studying quite a few people, studying quite a few agencies and governments, and who knows? They're up to a lot of things we don't know about. And some things we do know about, but we just don't want to say we know about. Just saying. When we come back, your phone calls, your text messages, more news of the day, and more.
Call in to the Chad Hasty Show at 1-800-687-0790. The Chad Hasty Show, broadcasting on the Texas Town Square Media Network.
Diane from Michigan, a disabled senior citizen trying to get by. Henry from Florida, a veteran fighting to make ends meet. Elena from Arizona, a mother struggling to feed her daughter. Hi, I'm Connie Britton, and I support Feeding America because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year, like Diane, Henry, and Elena. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
To battle is to fight, to struggle, to overcome, and ultimately for the Marine Corps, it means to win. There is no alternative. It's not just a statement of intent. It's a promise to our nation. A promise kept for more than 2 centuries. A promise of the Marines.
The news and talk of West Texas. News Talk 95.1 and 790 KFYO. Don't you forget about Chad at Chad Hasty Radio on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and on your radio. Now back to the Chad Hasty Show.
Just getting some people to Mark Levin. That's what we're here for. Back on the Chad Hasty Show. Well, we had somebody who their favorite memory was listening to Mark Levin on the way home. That was their favorite memory. Now it's us, and well, we're just glad that you're listening. Don't worry, Mark Levin. He'll be coming up. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. I promise. 806-680-2790. That's 806-680-2790. You can send in your thoughts on the text line. You can also get in touch with us, 1-800-687-0790. Send in those good memories, and also on Gun Appreciation Day, what gun you appreciate, your favorite gun. You can send that in on the text line, 806-680-2790. Weigh in on any of the topics that we've been getting into today on the program. Let's see, a couple of different national stories that are out there. There's so many of these Nikki Haley. I'm so sick and tired of the Nikki Haley stuff. You got the Nikki Haley. There was a story that came out last night that Nikki Haley's on the short list. That she's right there on the short list of possible VP contenders. And the question whether or not Republicans would abandon Trump if Nikki Haley were the VP. We had Politico, the GOP already clashing over Trump's VP pick, as Haley emerges as the former president's most formidable opponent in the coming states. She's not formidable in except one state. That's the only place where she's formidable. She wasn't formidable in Iowa. She's still behind Trump. If you look at all the polls and you believe them, Trump is still winning in New Hampshire over Nikki Haley. And if you believe the rest of the polls, she's not doing well at all. Her Trump world foes are intensifying their own efforts to block her from the consolation prize of the vice presidency. Haley's critics have been privately warning Trump that if he were to make the first line in his presidency to Nikki Haley, he'd effectively be setting himself up for an intra-party coup, as GOP senators would use any legal or political pretext to remove him from office and elevate the more old guard-aligned Haley. Now, I don't believe that's true. I don't think that is necessarily true. I don't think that they would look to remove him because they would have to answer to the people. They would have to answer to you. So I don't see the old guard, quote-unquote, Republicans having the spine to try and remove Trump and install Nikki Haley as president. They may not be big fans of Trump, and most of them aren't. But I don't think that there would be a coup from the Republicans. The Democrats there absolutely would be. The Democrats, they're already talking about ways to prevent Trump from having all the powers of the presidency. But, of course, they were doing that when he won the first time. They were trying to look at every way to remove the powers of the presidency so Trump wouldn't start World War III. They were already looking at ways of throwing him out of office when he ran the first time. So for the Democrats, this is nothing new. I don't think Trump will pick Nikki Haley. I think there's really some bad blood there. Could I see Trump maybe picking Nikki Haley for a cabinet pick? Maybe. But it depends on how bad this gets. I mean, Nikki Haley may want nothing to do with Trump after all of this. Trump may want nothing to do with Nikki Haley after all of this. Because there's definitely some bad blood brewing between the two. And really for no reason whatsoever. Nikki Haley's not going to win. For all the animosity that she is stirring up, it's for no reason. It's a waste of time. What Nikki Haley is doing is an absolute waste of time and, yes, money. Now, listen, it's her choice. It's her freedom. She can run. She can try to defeat Trump. She can try and hope that Trump will get thrown in prison and she gets the nomination. She can try and fight this all the way to the convention if she wants to. But this is not something where the Trump fans are automatically going to embrace Nikki Haley. If, let's just say, there was an attempt at a coup, they're not going to embrace Nikki Haley, and they're going to throw these senators out. They would absolutely throw some of these senators out. They're probably, you want to talk about an insurrection, you may have a Republican on Republican insurrection going on, like a real one, if that were to happen. Forget about what we saw on January 6th. I would say I could see people marching to the Capitol if Republicans threw Trump out. So, no, I don't think there would be a coup. It would be bad for Trump because Nikki Haley I think would be trying to undermine Trump from the get-go. Whoever Trump picks as his VP, for him, it does need to be someone who is very pretty loyal to him. Doesn't mean they have to agree. Doesn't mean they have to agree 100% on everything. But someone who can stay loyal to Trump, someone who can be there and be the Trump translator, if you will, from time to time, and someone who will fight for the country. What we have seen from Nikki Haley time and time again in this primary is that she is not a MAGA type candidate. She is not a America First type of candidate. I've talked about it numerous times. She's another Jeb. She is getting right back to the old Republican guard that we've seen before. Whereas I think if you look at somebody who, again, a Lee Stefanik, a Kristi Noem, maybe a Tim Scott, even though I think Tim Scott is still old school Republican establishment, but who knows? I think Tim Scott's a nice guy, good guy, could be a good, possibly a good president at some point. But again, is he America First? I don't think so. Trump's got to find somebody who is a little bit like him and a little bit different, but someone who is definitely loyal and somebody who is going to fight for the country. And someone who doesn't mind getting a little dirty. See, another text coming in. We're way closer to World War III right now than when Trump was president. Oh, 100%. Mark in California, absolutely. 100% we are closer now than we were when Trump was president. Remember the outrage when Trump went to North Korea and met with the North Korean dictator, and people thought it was just absolute craziness. Who died because of that? Who died because of that? Where was the U.S. military sent because of that? Now you take that and you compare it to what Joe Biden is doing, and come on. Mark also, with one of his favorite memories being the birth of his granddaughter, his favorite gun is 1911. Mark, are you allowed to have a 1911 in California? Paul T. from Michigan weighing in. Favorite gun, Colt 44. Anaconda. Last year they made them. Stainless steel, custom honed and poured by Colt. Favorite memory. It sounds like a beautiful firearm, by the way, Paul. Sounds beautiful. I love those old Colts. Favorite memory. Learning how to fish with my grandpa when I was 5. Let's see. Discuss where all this might go if Michelle Obama becomes the Democrat nominee. Oh boy. If Michelle Obama were the nominee, I'll tell you what, let's take the break because that's a long topic to get into. If Michelle were to jump into this thing and take it over. I don't see it happening. But if she were, the Democrats would be real fired up. We'll be right back.
A tornado is on the ground. You're at work, your spouse is at a meeting, the kids are at 3 different schools. Power and cell are out, and your home is inaccessible. Now what? Have a preset meetup plan. Share it with everyone in your family and practice it. Know the emergency plans at work and school, too. Get ahead of what's ahead. Be informed, make a plan, build a kit. #TexasReady. Go to txready.org for more information.
Mr. Rogers said, look for the helpers. You can always find people who are helping. Thank you to all the first responders who put their lives in danger to help us when my brothers and sisters need them. We look out for the helpers because they look out for us. Thank you, first responders! Thank you, first responders!
Help us help first responders in your community today. Go to firstrcf.org to learn more.
Religion and Reality, Sundays at noon on KFYO.
All right, welcome back to the Chad Hasty Show. This Fulton County case with Fannie Willis going against Trump is pretty much over. Former U.S. attorney suggested on Friday that the Fulton County Georgia District Attorney Fannie Willis likely conceding some allegations levied against her true after she used race to defend a colleague she's accused of having an inappropriate relationship with. What we've now seen is an attack on the people who are questioning or raised the issue for further investigation. I think that sounds a lot like, to me, maybe a concession that some of the allegations in the motion must be true, said Michael Moore, said of Willis's recent remarks on CNN, where he serves as an analyst. Court documents filed earlier this month say Willis hired Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade, her alleged romantic partner, to prosecute former President Trump in Georgia's election interference case and benefited financially from the relationship in the form of lavish vacations that the two went on using funds his firm received from working on the case. Willis recently subpoenaed to appear in court as part of Wade's divorce case. A new filing from her attorney claims Wade's estranged wife conspired with interested parties to annoy, embarrass, and oppress Willis. Because the parties agree their marriage are broken, there's no information that Willis could provide that would be relevant, the filing said in part. Moore, Democrat, who was appointed by President Obama in 2010, served until 2015, told CNN while he does not think the allegations on their own will be completely destructive to the case against Trump, it's a real optics problem for Willis. Oh, let me tell you, this case against Trump, it was already bogus. It's going to be blown out of the water now. Absolutely going to get blown out of the water. Let's see some texters weighing in before we go to break. Nikki Haley, just another screech owl like Hillary, Pelosi, and Kamala. That from Linda in Lubbock. Linda, not a fan of Nikki Haley. Let's see. Favorite memory is from Eric. Favorite memory, Trump being elected. Nikki Haley isn't allowed to define what a woman is due to her donors. Kristi Noem or Carrie Lake for VP. And the apprenticeship for president. Let's see. Republicans can't impeach a ham sandwich or vegetable in the White House. They sure can't advocate their power. And the Democrats awful fast. And his favorite firearm, a Smith & Wesson 45 ACPs, is daily carry on Gun Appreciation Day. We're appreciating our guns out there. Mark in California, I have better credentials to be president than Michelle. No political experience, never owned a business, no reality in real life. She'd be a joke candidate. No, she wouldn't be a joke candidate. Former First Lady of the United States. She does have high poll numbers out there. She's popular, very popular among Democrats. I don't see it happening. But if I were the Democrats and I wanted to be sneaky about this whole thing, and I wanted to replace Biden at the convention or at the very last minute, Yeah, Michelle Obama would be one of the top people I'd be looking at. She has no voting record, so you can't hit her on that. And if Trump attacks her, he's a racist and hates women. That'll be the rallying cry from the Democrats. Obviously, Barack Obama would be heavily involved in the race. Listen, she would be a formidable candidate. It doesn't matter if she has the political experience. It doesn't matter if she's never owned a business. Hell, Barack Obama proved that. Doesn't matter if she's never owned a business. Doesn't matter. For the Democrat nomination? Come on. She'd be a very popular candidate for the Democrats. Oprah would be a really good candidate for the Democrats. Boy, even us talking about, you know how much that pisses off Kamala Harris? That nobody is talking about Kamala taking over. No one is talking about Kamala Harris. We'll be right back.
The Chad Hasty Show, a presentation of the Texas Town Square Media Network. The views and opinions expressed during the Chad Hasty Show are not necessarily the views of this station staff, management, advertisers, or Town Square Media. Broadcasting from the great state of Texas, this is The Chad Hasty Show. News and views with a Lone Star perspective. You can sound off during the show by sending Chad a text at 806-680-2790. That's 806-680-2790. Or call in at 1-800-687-0790. Now, here's Chad Hasty.
Welcome back to the Chad HD Show. Final hour of the program. Welcome in. Hope you're enjoying your Friday evening. You can send in your thoughts on the text line, 806-680-2790. You can send in your favorite memories. Today on Good Memory Day, you can send in what your favorite memories good memory, a favorite memory that you have. You can text in. And also, it's Gun Appreciation Day. So, tell us about a gun you appreciate. Maybe your favorite firearm. You can weigh in on the text line at 806-680-2790. Listener, they included a picture. And, of course, I would look at the picture before I read everything here. KS-47, heart of an AR-15, soul of an AK-47. Very nice. Good memory. Proposed to my wife at the Lubbock War Memorial 18 years ago after sunset. She said yes, of course. Very nice. Let's see. Glenda in Shallow Water, good/bad memory. When my husband and I first married, we lived up in Idaho on the west side of the Grand Teton Mountains. It was deer hunting season. We were up in the high in the mountains. He was carrying his Marlin 30-30. We were walking, actually hunting, not sitting in a blind for the deer to come by. Had gotten tired. No telling how many miles we had walked. Sat down to log a rest for a few minutes. All of a sudden, we heard some noise. We looked up, and there were a herd of 7 deer, a buck, 6 girls standing in front, 10 feet in front of us, looking over at us. We were so startled that he couldn't even get the weapon up to take a shot. Deer casually walked away, left down the mountainside, never got a shot off. Worst hunting trip ever, but we did have a lot of fun. Chalk one up for the deer being smarter than the humans. LOL, that from Glenda in Shallow Water. That's a good memory. That's a great memory right there. That's good. Let's see, another texter. Bill in North Carolina, favorite memory. I first met my wife 39 years ago. Favorite gun is my little Derringer my mom left me, along with my 9mm 380 38. They're all my babies. Let's see. Another texture. Growing up on the farm, it's now a gravel pit. First rifle, old school Ruger, M77 270 cal from Paul Baron. Let's see. Trump won't pick Nikki Haley. He'll make Kristi Noem VP. I wish he'd pick Rand Paul. That from Rick in Lubbock. On a texture with their gun appreciation. Smith & Wesson 460X VR. Another favorite memories from Barry in Wichita Falls. Favorite memories, summer trips with our kids to Red River. Weekend camping and hiking with family, being able to have spent some quality time. Two of my boyhood heroes. They're old Chuck Yeager and Mario Andretti, both wonderfully kind and fun to talk to. When Mario asked where I was from, I said, Wichita Falls. He said, oh, Wichita's the old Wichita Speedway. Used to race against AJ there. Great opportunities and memories. And from Barry in Wichita Falls. Texture. Barack was a joke, too. He did a lot of damage to the country. Favorite memory, shooting my .40 caliber custom-made flintlock Tennessee rifle, black powder rendezvous. Sadly, the rifle was stolen from my home 5 years ago, and it was my favorite gun. Another texture. Love my .22 LR. It's a fun farm gun for varmints. Good varmint gun is always nice. And texture. Favorite memory. I'm not going to read that. I'm not going to read it. One, it's very offensive. I'm not going to read about the 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not going to, no. Just going to delete that text that came in. Not that I'm bitter at all, but a little bit. A little bit bitter. A little bit. See, another text. I carried a Glock 21 SF 45 ACP while on the job as a cop. It's a nice weapon. Nothing wrong with Glocks. Let's see. Biden in office was the insurrection by deception and fraud. You can send in your text at 806-680-2790. How about this? The folks over at Ford, shocking news. They are cutting the Ford Lightning output in the latest sign of an EV downshift. I told when they first announced that Ford, Chevy, all these companies were going to move to electric vehicles, I laughed. I said, just wait. Just wait. They're going to reverse course because nobody wants these vehicles. Nobody wants them. Automakers now expect slower EV sales in 2024. Ford Motor Company said slashing production of its F-150 Lightning, the electric pickup that's generated major buzz. Oh, yeah, so much buzz that they have to slash production for it. Since its launch nearly 2 years ago, Tesla in recent days cut vehicle prices in Europe and China. Meanwhile, the Arctic blast affecting much of the northern U.S. offered a reminder of one of the inconveniences of EV ownership, reduced battery performance. No. I had seen a post on social media that it was, and I'm trying to remember it as best I can, but in somewhere in the north, a driver of an electric vehicle had pulled over at a service station, and the inside of the station wasn't open because it was the bad winter storm. And he had relayed to a passerby that he was having to stay in his vehicle and turn the car on to heat the vehicle, which slowed down the charging. So it would take him about 2 hours to charge the vehicle in the winter storm. So imagine you're sitting there, you're cold, you're having to stay in your vehicle and just turn the heat on, And at the same time, you're having to charge the vehicle, and it takes 2 hours to charge the vehicle. A story that came out back in December from the Wall Street Journal. Many people consider an electric vehicle turned off by the prices, but the biggest roadblock often is range anxiety and the fear of getting stuck on the desolate road with a dead battery. Well, what they're finding out is that when it's really cold outside and when it's really hot outside, that battery goes real quick. Which, again, common sense would tell you that, of course, that would be the case. But, they're finding out a lot more now. They're finding out a lot more that this is not very good. The Arctic blast has affected much of the northern U.S., offered a reminder of the inconvenience of EV ownership, reduced battery performance in cold weather. The phenomenon has left some EV owners out of juice in the industry with a jolt of bad publicity for electric cars. EV sales in the U.S. and globally continue to climb, but the pace of the growth and the enthusiasm around the EV story has faded. Long wait list and accelerated factory schedules for the EV market in recent years has given way to a backlog of inventory and downsized ambitions. Car makers say they remain committed to going electric while calibrating their plans amid multiplying signs that not as many consumers as anticipated are ready to rush into EVs. Again, I think once you get some common sense back into the White House, I think you'll see some of this attitude towards EVs. I think they'll flip around because, again, these automakers they're getting money from the government in order to push EVs. Surveys showing that many car buyers are interested into the technology but are hesitant to make the switch because of concerns over charger availability and higher prices. Well, you think about that. You think about if you put everybody on, let's just go with California. You put everybody on the all these cars on the California grid. California grid's already having issues. You put it on the ERCOT grid in Texas. Is that something that you really want to count on? No, thank you. Not at all. And again, for so many people who buy trucks, not everybody is using a truck for work. But if you're looking at West Texas, you're looking at the Panhandle, and you want to buy a truck, you're probably going to be driving a few miles. You're probably going to put some miles on that truck, no matter what. And you want to make sure you're going to get from destination A to destination B, and you're not going to have to pull over for 2 to 3 hours in order to charge your vehicle. So shocking news that people aren't as in love with EVs as the government wants everybody to be in love with EVs. And Ford now slashing the production of the Ford line. But I love how they say, there's a lot of interest. There's a lot of interest in the Ford F-150 Lightning. Yeah, okay, then why are you slashing production? Well, because no one wants to buy it. Well, then there's really not that much interest in it, is there? 806-680-2790. When we come back, your phone calls, your text messages, your favorite memories, your favorite firearm. We'll be right back.
The Chad Hasty Show can be heard all over West Texas, weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m. Tune in on News Talk 95.1 and 790 KFYO in Lubbock, News Talk 940 in Amarillo, News Talk 94.7 and 1470 KYYW in Abilene, and in Wichita Falls on News Talk 96.3 and 1290. The Chad Hasty Show. Make it a part of your drive home, weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m.
This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Veterans, have you downloaded the VA Health and Benefits mobile app? It makes it easy to manage your health care and benefits. In a newer feature, The app lets you review your VA prescriptions. Download the app on your iPhone or the Google App Store, or wherever you get your mobile apps. That's the VA Health and Benefits mobile app.
For Hasty, Barry, and Sexton, News Talk KFYO.
Welcome back to the Chad HD Show. Appreciate you being out there today. You can send in your thoughts on the text line, 806-680-2790. A few texts coming in on the text line. Let's see. Favorite memory, the births of my two daughters. Favorite weapon, 9mm Browning high power. Very nice. You can get in on the text line like this listener did. 33 years ago, I was with Bravo Company, 4th Tank, and just arrived in Saudi Arabia, was carried a Beretta M9 and the M1 M16A2. Very nice. Another text. I know it's stupid, maybe stupid, but I wonder how many old-timers are confused that they have to pick a provider and they're on spec and they don't have to. There's a lot of confusion. It's not just old timers. There's a lot of confusion out on at least on social media. Now we've done what we can. We're gonna have Matt Rose back in probably early next month to do another Q&A. But I see a lot of misinformation on social media about the whole retail electric market and the people who are either confused or just they don't know what's going on. If you are a KFYO listener there in Lubbock and you have questions about the deregulation and the move to a retail electric market, you can go back and listen to the interview, and we've posted just the interview with Matt Rose up on KFYO.com for you to go and listen to, and you can spread that around to your friends and neighbors and all that kind of good stuff. And it's about a 16-minute interview, and they can listen to what Matt Rose has to say with LP&L. Again, he's not going to tell you who to go with or not to go with or anything like that. I've been asked, and the one thing that I tell people is, one, our sponsors of the show, great people over at Abundance Energy. They're based out of Lubbock. I think that's a good thing. They're based here. And they don't have gimmicky prices or anything. It's pretty straightforward. AbundanceEnergy.com, where you can get more information. And they're sponsors of the show. And they're involved in the community. They're going to be doing stuff in the community, and to me that's a good thing. They're based out of Lubbock, Texas. To me that's good. Now, there's lots of options. There's a lot of plans out there. I had somebody who asked me earlier, why is Lubbock even doing it? It looks like there's going to be higher prices. I can't even believe that we're going through this. You've had to have been around for a while in order to understand the history of how all this happened. But all this is coming about because of what the citizens wanted. The citizens elected a city council that would basically end LP&L as we know it and would move everybody to ERCOT, would move us to a retail electric market where there was competition. There were a great number of citizens who were very upset that LP&L was their only choice, and they could not buy. They couldn't go to Excel Energy anymore. They couldn't. They didn't have True. And you never really had the true retail electric market. You never had true competition. It was very limited competition at the time. But you had competition. And then things transpired, and you had the move to where we are now. And it's taken years. And people have forgotten that one of the reasons why the Lubbock City Council was elected, and you had members of the council who ran on, we're going to bring competition to LP&L. We're going to bring competition to the electric marketplace in Lubbock, and that's what citizens wanted. And this was way before ERCOT had any issues with a winter storm. And I've said for years on air, because people get mad at LP&L, they get mad at Lubbock Power and Light. They have for years, anytime in the summer, when their bills magically go up because it gets hot out here in West Texas, and people go, oh, LP&L's terrible. Oh, LP&L's horrible. Oh, no. Their prices have been right in around the state, right what we've seen around the rest of the state, if not lower. The problem is with LP&L is they got saddled on one bill with all the other electric or all the other utilities from the city of Lubbock, including water. And water is expensive out here. And LP&L got blamed because of the whole, the price of water and the price of runoff and all this other stuff. It was all on one bill, and it was all under the LP&L banner. So, yes, LP&L, they're still going to be around. They're going to be servicing the lines. And if, God forbid, something happens where you have power lines that fall, LP&L, they're going to go out and fix it. Are you still going to see that charge from LP&L that's going to be on the bill? Yes. Just like if you were to be in Dallas, you would have a charge for whoever is in charge of the Dallas area lines. They have a charge as well. So there's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of confusion. And then that's even before people start picking an energy provider. So, yeah, there's a lot of confusion. This is new for a lot of people. Now, for those of you in other areas of the state, this is nothing. You've been dealing with this for a long time. You've been having to choose energy providers and go through the online. So you've been dealing with this forever. This is nothing for you. You're looking at Lubbock going, come on, guys, get it together. When we come back, your phone calls, your text messages, and more.
The Chad Hasty Show, weekdays 5 to 7 p.m. Sound off during the show by sending Chad a text at 806-680-2790. Today's markets from the Texas Department of Ag.
Howdy, neighbors. Texas feeder cattle auctions were up, reporting prices steady to $8 higher. Cattle futures, though, were down. February live cattle futures down 45 cents, close at $174.37. January feeder cattle futures down 83 cents to close at $230.10. March cotton futures are up a bit, closed at $83.95. March wheat futures up 3 pennies, closed at $6.08 a bushel. March corn up a penny to close at $4.44. And soybean futures down just a bit, closed at $12.13 a bushel. March soybean meal futures down $4.80, closed at $356.50 per ton. January Class V milk futures up 4 cents, closed at $15.18 a hundred. February crude oil futures down 67 cents, closed at $73.41 per barrel. And the Dow Jones was up 395 points, closed at an all-time high of 37,863. And that's Market Roundup from the Texas Department of Agriculture. I'm your commissioner, Sid Miller. And remember, friends, Texas agriculture matters. Sold.
The news and talk of West Texas. News Talk 95.1 and 790 KFYO. You're listening to The Chad Hasty Show.
Back on the Chad Hasty Show. And one thing that I do like about social media from time to time is that you get things that are old that reappear. And I've seen this little list. I've seen it a couple of different times. I haven't seen it in maybe a year or so, but every now and then it pops back up. Somebody finds it online and they repost it, and people get a little chuckle out of it. Nick, you have not heard this before. You've not seen this list. Well, it was posted on social media today, and it was actually sent to me by a few people. So I guess it is making its way around. 9 tips for taking care of your husband. Taken from a 1950s home economics book. It's a page from a vintage home economics book for girls on how to become good housewives. Now, Nick, you're engaged, and I want to see if you in 2024, if you think your fiance would just go along with any of these. Okay.
Okay. Well, the title alone. That can already spark some.
What's the title? What's wrong with the title?
9 things to
tips to look. The title is tips to look after your husband. That's all it is.
To look after
your husband. That's all it is. Ooh. All right. So number 1, plan ahead, even the night before, to have a delicious meal on time. Number 1 is have dinner ready. Plan ahead, even the night before, to have a delicious meal on time. This is a way of letting him know that you've been thinking about him and are concerned about his needs. Most men are hungry when they come home, and the prospect of a good meal are part of the warm welcome needed. I think that's great. I think that's beautiful. I think that's that one that everyone should agree is great for the relationship. Do you think your fiance would agree with that one?
She would agree that a nice meal is very good to come home to. Yes, she would.
Okay, so you like that one. You like number 1. Okay. Number 2, prepare yourself. Okay? It's for the ladies out there. This is not me. This is from a 1950s textbook. Take 15 minutes to rest. See? Lady, they're calling for the lady to rest. Take 15 minutes to rest so you will be refreshed when he arrives. Touch up your makeup. Put a ribbon in your hair and be fresh looking. He has just been with a lot of work-weary people. Be a little gay and a little more interesting. His boring day may need a lift. Gay as in happy.
Right, yeah, I got that. Yeah, appreciate it.
For all you millennials and zennials out there, gay used to mean something completely different.
So this is for every housewife who stays at the house.
This is for every housewife.
So everyone who stays at the house does not work.
Just look nice for your husband. Rest yourself. Touch up your makeup so when your husband arrives, he sees something nice.
So surprisingly, I'm going to say I don't necessarily
she would agree with that. Okay, all right.
Who cares what she looks like?
Okay, so you don't care. You're
do not
good.
Care at
okay,
all
right. Here we go. Clear away the clutter. Make one last trip through the main part of the house just before your husband arrives, ladies. Gather up school books, toys, paper, etc. Then run a dust cloth over the table. Your husband will feel he has reached a haven of rest and order, and it will give you a lift too. I think that's great. I think that's something that's very good. Number 4, prepare the children. Take a few minutes to wash the children's hands and faces. If they are small, comb their hair, and if necessary, change their clothing. They are little treasures, and he would like to see them playing the part. Nick doesn't have any kids, so I don't. This one would not apply as of yet. Now, all right, Nick, what do you think about this one? For the ladies out there, minimize all noise. Upon his arrival, eliminate all noise of the washer, dryer, dishwasher, or vacuum. Try to encourage the children to be quiet. Be happy to see him. Greet him with a warm smile and be glad to see him.
We don't have kids. You're right.
Yeah.
But we do have two very large dogs who can be as loud, if not louder, than kids.
Yeah. Oh, she's supposed to shush them.
Oh, she is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shush,
I'll let her know.
Shush the dogs.
I'll tell her that when I get home.
Shush the dogs.
Right.
You've
Okay.
worked hard today, Nick.
I did.
Yes.
I've earned this.
Well, maybe the dogs can be trained to bring you some slippers.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And then we'll make a book for your house dogs.
Yeah.
How to greet your father.
Yeah. So here's some don'ts. Here's some don'ts for the ladies. It's again from the 1950s era home economics book. Do not greet him with problems or complaints. Don't complain if he's late for dinner. Count this as minor compared to what he may have gone through that day. I think that's beautiful. I think that's great. And Nick, you're giving me the thumbs up, so that's good. We're on the record, Nick giving the thumbs up on that one. Here we go. Make him comfortable. This is number 7. Make him comfortable. Have him lean back in a comfortable chair or suggest he lie down in the bedroom. Have a cool or warm drink ready for him. Arrange his pillow and offer to take off his shoes. Speak in a low, soft, soothing, pleasant voice and allow him to relax and unwind. Number 8, listen to him. You may have a lot of things to tell him, but at the moment of his arrival is not the time. Let him talk first. Number 9, and I think Nick would agree with this one. Never complain if he does not take you out to dinner or to other places of entertainment. Instead, try to understand his world of strain and pressure, his need to come home and relax. The goal, according to this 1950 home economic textbook, try and make your home a place of peace and order where your husband can renew himself in body and spirit. You think what do you think the reaction would be if you put that, if you just put that in textbooks in the United States? How many women and trans women? The trans women would just be beside themselves. They wouldn't know what to do. 806-680-2790. Nick, I think, has endorsed all of these. We'll let his fiance know that he likes all of them. Sounds great, wonderful. He's very happy, and so we'll send that along to her so she'll know what to do and what not to do. Again, don't be loud. Don't make noise when the husband comes home. He's had a stressful day. What have you done? Don't make any noise. And while you may have complaints, now is not the time. Now is not the time to bring any of those up. 806-680-2790. When we come back, your phone calls, your text messages. Text her on the app chat. Chad, where can I get a copy of this? I'd like to send it to my wife. You see, you're playing with fire. Playing with a little bit of fire there. We'll be right back.
Now in the street there is violence, and lots of work to be done.
There will be one less birthday party to celebrate today. One less coffee date with a friend today. One less family dinner today. Because there will be one less motorcycle rider on the road today. On average, a motorcyclist is killed on Texas roads every day. When you're behind the wheel, obey the speed limit and be extra careful at intersections. Let's start turning that one less into one more. Please share the road and look twice for motorcycles. There's a life riding on it. A message from TxDOT.
This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Veterans deserve to know about the best services available to them. VA's new radio outreach page is a prime source for that information. The page, news.va.gov/outreach/radio, houses public service announcements that educate veterans on a cross-section of topics. That's news.va.gov/outreach/radio.
Barry, weekday mornings from 8:30 to 11 on News Talk KFYO.
All right, welcome back to the Chad Hasty Show. in what will sure to be a huge disaster for the city of Austin. I can't wait. Art Acevedo, who is the very big liberal former police chief, was police. I think he went down to Houston. He was over in Miami for a bit. He's been fired all over the place. He's now returning to Austin in a new $271,000 a year city hall position, overseeing policing. So that's what Art Acevedo will do. He keeps failing up. So I guess congratulations to him. He was the Democrats loved him for a certain amount of time. Not anymore, really. But he went out to Miami and he got fired there. And controversy seems to follow Art. So I'm sure it'll be a disaster in Austin, which, hate to see that happen. Let's see. Speaking of policing, this is from Fox News. Officers warning teenagers they could get shot if they participate in a TikTok trend causing distress for residents. Police in Texas say a social media challenge teenagers are participating in is causing both physical and emotional distress for residents of all ages. Friendswood Police Department said they've received reports from victims of the viral door knock challenge. Nick, do you know what this is? You're the TikTok generator. No? Okay. Viral door knock challenge, which encourages individuals to bang or kick doors in the middle of the night in an effort to startle residents. Yeah, that's a really dumb idea. Really, 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 really dumb. Remember Joe Biden says if you feel threatened to shoot through your door with a shotgun. Now, legally, you can't do that. But Joe says go ahead and do it. Doorbell camera videos posted to the department's Facebook page show teens running through neighborhoods in the middle of the night, with one even using a 5-gallon water jug to bang on a home's front door. Told I would tell them to stop before they get hurt or hurt somebody. Please don't do this. It's wrong, said a 77-year-old victim, telling Fox 26 Houston, it was very scary, frightening. I was terrified. The challenge is not only frightening, but possibly criminal. Some of the kicks and bangs on doors are causing damage. Fort Bend County Constable Precinct 3 Chief Deputy Jimmy Evans told Fox 26, "It's a very dangerous game, very dangerous." Adding that call the challenge a new take on Ding Dong Ditch. I'm afraid a homeowner may think someone is trying to burglarize their residence. Some innocent kid's going to get shot or killed. Friendswood police are there in the process of identifying what appears to be teenage males who are doing the kicking and banging on doors. They ask victims to come forward, especially if they have video of the alleged crimes. As for Gwen, it'll cost Gwen $2,500 to fix pieces of her door that were cracked at the bottom of the frame. Stupid kids. And honest, how stupid do you have to be to go running around in the middle of the night? This is why I'm glad I'm not in a neighborhood anymore. Because of just stupid stuff like this. Where people are going around banging on doors for no reason. Oh, we're going to be TikTok famous. All these kids, they want to be famous. They want to be influencers for doing absolutely nothing. At least if you're going to do something stupid to be TikTok famous, at least go back to a Tide Pod challenge or something where you're only hurting yourself. Again, I'm not encouraging the Tide Pod challenges. I'm just saying stop hurting other people. Stop frightening other people. And, of course, knowing our environment, you'd have some kid who kicked open a door and he gets shot by the homeowner because the homeowner thinks they're under attack. And then what's going to happen? The parents of the kid, they're going to sue the homeowner. Oh, you shot my kid. Oh, or here's what's going to happen. One of these stupid kids, they're going to break their leg on someone's door. And then guess what's going to happen? The homeowner's going to get sued because the kid was kicking the door. The parents are going to get upset. Oh, your door is too strong. You broke my kid's leg. How dare you? Is on your property. My kid tripped over one of the plants on your stoop. Again, people sue for all sorts of stupid reasons. Again, this is why this is why social media, a very big detriment in our society. Very little good comes out of social media, and especially true when it comes to teenagers out there. Very little good comes out of social media. But at least Texas authorities are trying to say, just stop it. Don't go banging on people's doors, trying to kick doors in. Again, I don't even know how does watching a video of someone doing that even make somebody famous or go viral to where you're like, oh, that's cool. That's who we want to be like right there, is a kid who's knocking on doors. 806-680-2790 as we begin to wrap things up. Next week on the show, we'll have a few different candidates, including Mike Dalby, who's running. We'll have him in studio. We're also going to have candidates from around the state. In fact, we've got a candidate out of the Houston area who will be on with us next week. Still trying to finalize which day and time and all that kind of good stuff. But again, candidates from all over. If you're running for office, whether it's a local office or a state rep or state senate, we'd love to have you on the show. You can reach out to me, chad@kfyo.com. Get in touch with us, and we'll get you on the program, that's for sure. We will be recording another edition of the Current in Cask podcast this evening, a podcast that myself, Matt Martin, record, where we like to review whiskey, talk about the current events of the week. We'll be recording another one of those tonight. It'll drop tomorrow. So just subscribe to Current in Cask wherever you get your podcast from. It's available on all your favorite podcast platforms. So is the Chad Hasty Show, where you can download and listen and all that kind of good stuff. Again, for those of you in Lubbock, you can go to KFYO.com. We've got the interview from last week with LP&L's Matt Rose that you can spread around to people if they have questions about the electric retail market. Follow me on social media at Chad HD Radio. Have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, and don't forget, stay warm out there. God bless you all. We'll see you Monday.
Expect to see me now anytime. When you're in my arms, I'll be fine.
The Chad Hasty Show, a presentation of the Texas Town Square Media Network. The views and opinions expressed during the Chad Hasty Show are not necessarily the views of this station staff, management, advertisers, or Town Square Media.